Oh, hi! It's your old buddy. Just kidding, it's me, Stubbs. So we gotta talk a little bit, really quickly about the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 and the Classic, both of which are going up for pre-order today. And if you didn't know, there's been some controversy lately, and you might be wondering, should I even buy this still? What is this YouTube shill saying to me right now? And the answer to both of those is, it depends. Stick around for a few minutes and hear this middle-aged man's unhinged opinion. All right, let's hop in. We're here with the Flip 2, and pre-order pricing today starts at $219 USD for the Snapdragon 865, which is the one that they will be selling. By the way, the 1100 doesn't even come up for pre-order until April. More on that in a second. As for the Classic, we're looking at either $114 or $124, depending on if you want 4 gigs, 64 gigs, or 6 gigs, 128 gigs. So these prices are with the discounts applied, we're saying. Because, oh yeah, that's right, there's discounts. But not only that, Retroid today is offering a bundle deal. Retroid is offering a bundle deal where you get both handhelds for $328. Now, the Flip looks really interesting to me. Clamshells are kind of my thing. One of my all-time favorites, GPD XD. And it looks like they're taking the RP5 here and saying, hey, now it's a clam. Yay, clams. And they're offering this in the black, in the GameCube colorway, the Ice Blue, and the 16-bit US. All 4 of which look pretty good. Ice Blue, actually, this time, the transparent isn't really calling to me personally. I think the 16-bit US looks really nice, as well as GameCube. And GameCube is the one I requested for the review unit that's coming into the channel here shortly. I don't know when reviewers will be getting units. Should be by the end of March here, if history serves. But I'll let you know as soon as it arrives. So I should be getting one of the Snapdragon 865 variants. Again, I don't think I'll get a unit for the D1100 as it's not shipping till later. I do think the 865 is the one to go with though. Why didn't I put my glasses on? Because it's gonna have more compatibility. It's a more tried and true chipset. People who are used to the RP5, you should have that same experience here on the Flip 2. And it offers just a wide range of options, such as running Linux. You can run Rocknix, which should have functionality very shortly, soon. But the performance and the compatibility is there. On the D1100, you're going to see power efficiency. You're going to see a 6nm process versus the 7nm process that you see in the 865 Flip 2. But with the Dimensity 1100, you're not going to see as much compatibility. It is the same chip from the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro. So if you're used to that, this might be a good choice for you. But I would recommend for most, if you're buying this, to go with the 865 variant. But again, I'm going to say, don't even think about pre-ordering until you see a review of this thing in the wild. We can say, hey, it looks great. We know that the RP5 is good. So we can guess that this one is also, but there's a lot of variables here that we just don't know about this yet. They say the Hinge is much stronger now, but we'll be having to take a look. In my video, I will be stress testing that Hinge, but long term, we don't know. We saw some breakage in the original Flips, and that wasn't so great. But with the sticks here being inset and moving away from the sliders of the Flip 1, this will be interesting. Now, I actually like sticks up top on clamshells. I'm used to it on the GPD XD right here, and these work really well. Having up top ergonomically works really nicely, and this is my favorite place to have them, as well as on the X18S by Powkitty. Definitely felt better to have them up top. Versus, you know, you can try out something like the Flip 1, but it had sliders. So for sticks, you could get a reference from maybe the Miu Flip, which is not so comfortable to get your thumbs down there. So just think about that. I do think, yeah, they made a good choice putting those up top. The D-pad should be solid. The buttons, I hope, are quiet this time. Like these quiet, soft, mushy rubber membrane buttons here, which are Win 2 buttons swapped in. We're gonna have to see how Retroid handles this and if it's gonna be good. So again, wait for reviews. We should have reviews out very, very quickly. I plan to do a live stream with this one as soon as I get it in so we can just all dive in together the moment it arrives at the house. As far as the tech specs, you probably heard all this to death if you've been following this news, but I do recommend checking out both the newsers from Zoo and Russ, which I'll link in the description, as well as on our website, which will give you a full rundown. But real quick, here's a quick look at the specs. So we're looking at Android 13, a 5.5-inch AMOLED screen, 1080p at 60 FPS at 500 nits, and that Adreno 650 is in there for the GPU. We're seeing 8 gigabytes of LPDDR4 RAM at 2133 megahertz, 128 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage inside, as well as a expansion micro SD slot. DisplayPort for video out is the option here, 1080p at 60. Wi-Fi 6 is on this, Bluetooth 5.1, Battery is a 5,000 milliamp hour. There is active cooling. Weight is 300 grams. Comes with USB-C plug-in, 3.5 audio for headphones, which is great. Hall sticks, analog L2 and R2, and 27-watt charging. Not much difference here over on the Dimensity 1100. So if you're looking for that and you're waiting for that, for one thing, it's good because you can save some money. But D1100 at 6 nanometers, which has a Mali G77 MC9, but you're still getting the same 8 gigs of RAM at the same speed, the same internal storage, same video out, but you're getting the same Wi-Fi 6, but you actually get a bump in Bluetooth. If you're a big Bluetooth audio person, you get a bump up from Bluetooth 5.1 to Bluetooth 5.2. Same 5,000 milliamp hour battery, active cooling, same weight. And actually the fast charging is dipping from 27 watts down to 18 watts. So actually retail on this is going to be $229 for this 865 and then $199 for the D1100. But Retroid does offer coupons here. Coupons run for the duration of the pre-order period here, which by the way, if you're looking at the site for any reason, it shows sold out and you're like, oh no, it's sold out. It's not. It does this every time. They always have it. So it's going to go live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time today. Yeah, D1100 available for purchase in April. 865 shipments. Okay, so here's shipping info. 865 shipments start in mid-April and D1100 will start end of April if you were wondering. But yeah, again, the Flip 2 looks pretty sweet, and they also have some nice accessories you can check out on the store. They have this fun lanyard, which is which is good, and they do have a case, but again, it's a clamshell. I don't think you need it, but the lanyard's fun. People are asking, is a grip happening for this? I'm guessing it is. They did it for the Flip 1, which, shout out Flip 1. I really liked those sliders. I those nubbins, those little, yeah, those sliders are pretty cool, personally, but you do get that OLED screen, which is the star of the show, and it's a clamshell, and it might be a true follow-up for me to my beloved GPD XD, my favorite, probably the favorite retro handheld of all time from 2015. So it only took them 10 years, but is this the XD follow-up that we really needed? I don't know. It's like almost like Zoo didn't invent it. He spent a lot of time in that laboratory. Also, for no apparent reason, shout out to one of my favorite retro devices of all time, the RP2S. You beautiful son of a... So, okay. Oh, the bundle. That's right, the bundle. So Retroid's offering this bundle. So buying the combo, if you want the classic and you want the flip, it will save you $30 versus saving just $15 if you pre-order both of these separately. So you do get a nice stackable bonus there on top of. As well as, hey, if you own an RP Mini, you are being treated because of the screen issues that Retroid brought upon everybody. And you're getting Mini Save 10, which will bring an additional $10 off if you own a Mini and you would like to take advantage of that. So additional $10. But the exception here is for those of you who purchased the Classic and Flip 2 bundled deal, as you'll need to reach out to Retroid's customer service. So they're going to issue a manual $10 refund. So that's sales@goretroid.com. That's thoughts on the Flip 2. Are you buying one? Again, I do recommend waiting for reviews, but personally, the one that I requested was a GameCube, but the one I'm going to purchase separately, I think I'm going to go for the combo, by the way. Might as well buy the combo. But I want to have a retail unit and the most likely what will be a pre-production unit so we can do some comparisons. I think the one I'll order is 16-bit US. I really like the look of that. I mean, GameCube, again, it's just so much fun. It's colorful. Oh, look, they have a little how-to tutorial here about how to apply the auto discount for the combo. That's in the screenshots here. Add to cart. Click on frequently bought together. Click add to cart. Discount will be applied directly. Combo discount only works once you click the button add to cart. So, okay, so they'll both show up. Combine them, $328. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to move over to look at the Classic. What seems to be a bigger size than something like the Trim UI Brick, but not nearly as large as the original Game Boy DMG. It looks like a nice analog pocket, again, looking device, Game Boy looking device, and it has a brand new chip. So this was just announced today at GDC from Qualcomm that they're having a partnership with Retroid, and they showed the specs for this, for the Flip, even a teaser for some flagship handheld from Retroid, which I could only assume might be the Retroid Pocket 6, like, hopefully later, much later. Later. But that might be another reason if they're hinting at this, and this isn't like a leak or rumor or anything like this. Is something Qualcomm was showing, so more to come. Retroid hasn't officially said anything about it as of the time of this video, but we can only assume reporting from like Android Authority showing, hey, this might be a flagship coming with a new Snapdragon G2 Gen 2, which I have no idea. Again, this brand new chip, same thing with the one in the Classic that's showing up. 2 Gen 1? It's the G1 Gen 2. These are confusing. So this is a new budget chip option that they're putting in the Classic. And in the mystery flagship handheld coming at a later date, the G2 Gen 2, which again, I haven't benchmarked these. We don't know real world what's emulation going to be like, what's performance going to be like with our use case here. I don't know for either of these chips yet. All the more important to wait for reviews before buying things, unless you are on the front line of testers and tinkerers and enthusiasts who just want to see the thing now. Which brings us to the pricing of the Classic. So the Classic now is coming in at $129 USD, but with that coupon, you're going to get down to $110. And that's for the top end 6 gig, 128 gig model, Classic 6, which by the way, yeah, it gets even more complicated here because the Classic has a 4-button layout as well as like the Sega Saturn inspired 6-button option, which is limited, as well as the retro colorway. But they do say here with the Snapdragon G1 Gen 2, Qualcomm claims it offers a massive 80% jump in CPU performance over the G1 Gen 1. As for GPU performance with this new Adreno A12, we're potentially looking around up to a 25% boost. While it lacks some newer inclusions such as Wi-Fi 7, the G1 Gen 2 does FHD or FHD Plus 2220 by 1080, which does that at a 120 Hz refresh rate. All that being said, the Retroid Pocket Classic could end up being one of the best verticals of the year, despite more focus being on the RP Flip 2. A lot of people are excited just for this. So with the coupon, you can get this as low as $114, which is a very sweet price point. We're almost at around $100, which is Retroid's sweet spot. They had that with the RP2S. See, I found a reason to show you off in the video. All right, even the RP2. Remember this? Huh? Combo kill. What's cool about the G1 Gen 2, which is in the Classic here, it is a smaller 4nm process. So this should be ridiculous power efficiency. And I don't even care because look how damn cute these colors are. We have retro, berry, Pokemon yellow, which is the one I requested, as well as the Classic 6, so we can take a look at that. Kiwi, teal, and atomic purple. And I don't know, they all look awesome, honestly, in their own way. The purple is fun. The teal, the kiwi, these are all classic Game Boy Color colorways. The retro is cool, looks like the Game Boy Pocket. And then there's the berry and the classic Pokemon build, which I just think is ridiculous. It looks like a kid's toy, and that's the one I want. But I'm also, again, going to purchase one of these in the combo today. So I believe I'm going to be looking at going with either the kiwi. I don't know. What do you think? Kiwi or the teal? Kiwi or the retro? The retro is limited edition. Till the end of the pre-order period, you can order the 6-button, the Classic 6 or the retro. But it looks like we have the RP2S style D-pad, which is great. Classic Retroid face buttons. They look like a shorter pivot in travel, so that's interesting. I hope they're quiet. We have sloped back buttons, much like we see here on the Battle XP G350 or like the Better Buttons mod. But like they have nailed it as far as that sloped better button ergonomic look goes. And I hope again they're very quiet. We even have active cooling going out the back. But one notable omission from this is while you do get a 3.5 headphone jack out, which for audio, which is good, you do not get video out options. So this is going to be a true handheld. You're not going to be docking it. And that's what they say on their page. And looking at other specs for the Classic, we're looking at Android 14 on here instead of 13 on the others. A 3.92-inch AMOLED 1240 by 1080p 60 FPS display. They say 1240 by 1080, and I really hope they mean it because if you've been following along to the recent RP Mini drama, which has been an evolving tale, culminating yesterday in Retroid saying, hey, we're going to be sending out DIY fix-it kits with the screen in the front shell. It's only going to be the black colorway, but, see if that works for you. And they're going to ship it to you sometime in April and for free. That's definitely earned some goodwill, but they've been in just a slew of trouble, and this video is not the place to talk about it. We'll talk more on the podcast today, I'm sure, and check our big discussion on it last week. Check Russ's video, Aiden's, like everybody has had thoughts on this. They did lose goodwill, and you do want to vote with your wallet, and if your trust is broken, I understand that, just don't buy from them anymore. Are they still making the other screen later, the RP Mini 2? I don't know. It's a whole swirling cloud of stuff. Ugh. But it's important today because in the Classic, we're seeing that the 3.92-inch screen is the same screen from the RP Mini, minus the chip that made it all wonky, or minus the stuff that made it all wonky. So this is going to be a native display as far as I can tell, so it's not going to have the issues, the shader issues, the upscaling issues, the pixel balance issues from the RP Mini. But it will be the same screen, which is the same screen from the Neo DMG, which is the same screen from the LG Wing phone, the second screen, the small screen. So I don't know. Do you trust Retroid to do the right thing here? Are they going to be up front? But there's been talk that they knew about this all along and they just purposely wanted the screen the way they wanted it. We have detectives who went in and said, no, it's like this. All right. And so there's still that outrage of like, okay, they made it right. They did good, but they still lied to us at the end of the day. Or they withheld, or they knew, but why didn't they say? And again, this isn't the video for that, but I don't know. Have to decide for yourself, look at all the material, and ultimately, yeah, vote with your wallet. I would not pre-order the Classic either until we get reviews to see how this performance actually does real world. Is there issues? Is the screen just as wonky as the RP Mini shipped with? Because I would hope to God not. Please, no more nonsense. Come on. Other specs, though, on this Snapdragon G1 Gen 2 is going to be that 8-core Cryo CPU, 2 performance cores, 6 efficiency cores, Adreno A12 inside of the GPU, 4GB, 6GB RAM options at LPDDR4, 2133 MHz, 64GB, 128GB internal options, eMMC 5.1, plus that TF card slot still for expansion, Wi-Fi 5, so a downgrade from the others, which had Wi-Fi 6. And Bluetooth 5.1, which is still good, but not the 5.2 you see in the Dimensity 1100. Battery, again, 5,000 milliamp hour. Active cooling fan. Wait a minute, did I get that wrong? Hold on a second now. That can't be right. Is it? Oh, it is. It is 5,000 in the little Classic. It's so cute. 223 grams, so a little bit lighter than the Flip 2, which makes sense, that being at 300 grams. We're also looking at USB Type-C port, 3.5mm audio, 27-watt charging, which is nice, fast charging. And you can get accessories for this. You can go over to the store and you can look at getting a screen protector, which on this I might recommend. That I might recommend. It's $5. You can get a carrying case if you want it, which is kind of cute. It has little indents for the face buttons and D-pad, $10 for that. If you did want a Flip 2 carrying case, though, they have that as well for $10. I think the Classic looks awesome, though. I mean, again, if we're seeing a really performant device, and this is coming in cheaper than Neo's Pocket DMG, much cheaper, much cheaper, to the point where you could get a few colors. And again, there is that combo option available if you do want to try the Flip 2 and you want the Pocket, save an extra few bucks there. This is completely new territory. This is really cool to see them just experiment, and we'll see how it goes. The last vertical we had from them was the RP1, which I will be having one of those show up shortly from a server member. The first RP1, the first vertical, which was their first handheld, was not great. But at the time, it was cool to have that as an option. But then the RP2 immediately sort of outclassed it in every way. So I don't know. There's still a few RP1 owners out there, and let me know. Is that one you still use today? Or do you want to use another vertical, like the Trim UI brick, or maybe an actual old Game Boy, or modded Game Boy, or an FPGA device? There's so many options in 2025. Even if I wasn't a YouTube reviewer, and before I was a YouTube reviewer, it's just fun to see what the new thing does. Sure, it isn't always perfect. They'll probably have their own issues that'll come up. It'll be big drama stories showing up on Reddit, and Discord, and videos, and everywhere. I'm sure there's going to be controversy, because there always is around these Retroid launches. But the community rallies together, demands better, finds solutions. You have developers like the Gamma Squeeze and the Rocknix team who are doing incredible jobs, Batacera team, everybody working on these handhelds, as well as the community themselves who works together because we have a love for these. We have a passion for these. And I do too. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you do too. Doing the outro? All right. Well, can you give me some root beer? Oh, he's making videos downstairs? Sorry, TechDweeb's mom is over. It's not a... Oh, I can have one? You may be wondering, should I ultimately buy these things? It's your choice. When you're out there on the wild webs, just remember, don't cost nothing to be kind. All right, no, really, I'm not Zoo. I'm just Zoo's biggest fan. Or stick with what you got. You already have cool things that do things. Could this be my end game clamshell? Maybe. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks once again to our channel members, patrons, and subs who make everything here possible for us. Perks with RH start for as little as, what is it? $3 a month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games, and join me on the next video. We're going to be talking about, I don't know what, probably the Super Nintendo, something cool. We got to talk about Z Flow 13. We got to talk about other stuff. And until the next one, this is Stubbs from RH saying, take care of those handhelds, everybody, and each other.